Have you ever wondered why storms happen in people's life? And it seems like everything is falling apart. You get up every day and you're wondering, what do I do? How do I survive? How do I get through this storm in my life? Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew E. Guy. Welcome to another episode of I'm Listening, I Am Ready. It is the podcast that is dedicated for those who are on the go. This morning, we're going to be talking about the purpose of execution. If you're ready, let's have that conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment you've been waiting for. It's a conversation that must be had today and not tomorrow. Welcome to another episode of I'm Listening, I'm Ready with your host, Andrew E. Guy. Let's talk about it.
All right, welcome back. So we're talking about storms in your life, how to deal with difficult times, how to transition. And now we're in the process of COVID-19 and everything is just upside down. Everything that you know about life and normality or normalcy has been flipped upside down. You could be a business owner. All of a sudden, in a few hours or a few days, a booming business went down to zero. You can be a person that is like me as a personal trainer, personal development trainer, public speaker, and corporate staff development trainer. We're going from being physically on stage to being virtually on stage everywhere. So it calls for a change of our mindset and how we see things. Now, I've always said that things don't change. Things do not change in life. But it's how we look at things in life that determines how fast we change. All right. So the purpose of this podcast this morning is really to help those who are kind of stuck, who are fearful and don't want to take that step. I have a couple of examples that I'm going to give you, but best of all, I'm going to give you a process that you can apply to your life. Doesn't matter what situation you're in. You can apply this process, and with time, with tenacity, with determination, and with courage, you will discover more about yourself and your abilities and your willingness to overcome obstacles. So if that's you this morning, this podcast is for you. Now, if you're listening to me for the first time, again, this is Ilir podcast. What does that mean? I am listening. I am ready. It is the podcast that is dedicated for those who are on the go, whether you're traveling by land, air, or sea. This is me, Andrew E. Guy, in the MORNING. Want to encourage you this morning that to take action. It's the purpose of this podcast to help you to take action. If you're not taking action and you're just a spectator, you're just a bystander, you are watching life go by. It reminds me of one of my favorite movies called The Gifted Hands with my favorite neurosurgeon, Ben Carson. And there's a scene in the movie where he and his brother were just sitting there watching TV day after day after day, hour after hour after hour. And the mom would go to work and then come back. Yes, they're living in the poverty-stricken neighborhood and everything was just tough. And then she just got mad. The place was dirty. They were eating popcorn and they were just living it up. And that is what they saw. That was their reality. And mom was upset. Mom says, no, enough is enough. Turn off the TV. I need you to spend more time in your book, reading, developing yourself personally. So instead of watching people on TV, people are watching you on TV. Now, we are guilty of that too. It's not just in the movies, it happens in real life. We sit and we watch other people accomplishing their goals. We sit and we watch other people start new projects. And guess what? They keep on doing these things year after year. They set resolution without any solutions and they wonder why their life cannot change. Things never change until you decide to change something. And the first thing you want to change is your thinking. Right? One of the things that I want you to understand is that from this podcast, it's going to push you to take action. This is what it's about. I'm listening and I'm ready. First, you got to have a listening ear. And when you listen, the purpose of listening is to get information so you can take this information and turn it into action steps that you will use to transform your life and or your circumstance. All right. That's what I want you to get out of this morning. So we're talking about the purpose of execution. And there is a process to execution. You don't just get up and do it. There's some things that happen as you execute. And let me start off with a definition of execution. When we talk about execution, I'm not talking about the one that takes someone's life or put them in the electric chair. That's not what I'm talking about. Execution is having a plan, is the ability to execute or to carry out a plan. That is the definition of execution. So think of all the things that you're doing in your life. Are you executing? And if not, ask yourself, do I still want to be in this position or state of mind or condition 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, 2 years from now, or 2 decades from now? You have to make that choice. And when you start to make these choices, whether it's for your personal or public success, you have to make a choice. And this is what we're trying to get you to understand. There is a purpose in executing or taking action. One of my favorite martial artists of all time, Bruce Lee, he said, knowing is not enough. Yes, I know I got to do something. Knowing is like having that to-do list, having everything laid out on your calendar. Your calendar is looking so pretty. It's on the wall. And yes, that's exactly what it is. It's only a decoration, and you're fooling yourself. A decoration to show people that I'm thinking about doing something, but deep down, you're not doing anything. You're not executing. And it's almost like having all of these storms in your life. It's almost like every day it's a lightning bolt going off. A lightning bolt is going off in your life, and it's a storm. How do you get through the storm? Every day it's another storm. What do you do? I want you to feel encouraged. I want you to understand that you got to lift yourself up. You have to become your own cheerleader. You're going to have to cheer for yourself. You're going to have to clap for yourself. No, wait for somebody to clap for you. You got to clap for yourself. You got to lift yourself up, because if you don't lift yourself up, then you will not be able to accomplish the things that you need to accomplish. The next thing I want you to do, I want you to take a picture of yourself. I want you to look at me, listen to me. I want you to take a quick picture of yourself. When you take this picture of yourself, I'm not talking about a physical picture. It can also be, but the best picture you can take of yourself is sit in front of the mirror and smile. And if you're going to sit in front of the mirror and smile, then you can do one thing more. You can have your camera with you and take a selfie. And I want you to think of the most amazing time that you've ever had in your life, when you are happy, when you knew who you were, when you understand, wow, man, this is the day I don't want it to end. I want you to cherish that. I want you to ball that up. I want you to bottle it up. Don't sell it. I want you to put it in your heart shelf. Most people put it up on a shelf in a garage, but I want you to put in your heart shelf. I want you to bury it on the inside, that when you get those tough days and you feel like you just can't make it through, that you will understand that you have a picture of what you were and what you look like and what you need to be to make it through the tough times. Does that make sense? So I have a process that I'm going to explain to you, and I want you to try your best to follow that whenever the days get tough, whenever you feel like you cannot execute, when you feel like because of what you're going through. And a lot of us are going through things right now, whether it be financial, whether it be social, whether it be spiritual, whether it be physical. Everyone is going through right now. This is a challenging time for everyone, but I want to impress upon you that you will get through. Hear what I'm saying? I want you to do as we normally practice in the field of education. In the field of education, I have spent many years as a science teacher and teaching students as what the system called at-risk youth. And I always say to the teachers, because I was also a PD teacher, and what I did, basically, I was a trainer for the teachers, a professional development trainer for the teachers. When we talk about how do we improve engagement in our class, simply by looking at the end first, by teaching with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. Think of what you want to see the students accomplishing in their life, and then begin from there, because it's going to inspire you. You're going to feel pumped. You're going to feel encouraged. And not only that, you are going to feel secure. Because why? Because if you're an individual now in good health, everything is great, you can have a doctor inside that room, inside the classroom, sitting in front of you in the four walls. And you want to be the person that if you got sick in the future, 10 years from now, that one of those students in front of you become a great doctor. And guess what? You want them to be operating on you. Does that make sense? Does not feel good? And so that's what you do. You begin with the end in mind. But here is the steps that I want you to get when we're talking about the purpose of execution. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to me for the first time, this is Andrew E. Guy in the Morning. You are listening to Ilir Podcast. I'm listening. I'm ready. It is dedicated for those who are on the go, whether you're traveling by land, air, or sea. This is me. The purpose of this podcast is to get you from where you are to where you need to be by not just talking, but working your words and taking action. All right, here we go. I'm going to run through these steps real quick right here. All right. If you want more information, I want to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is Andrew Guy Speaks. Get over there and YouTube and subscribe to Andrew Guy Speaks. So I'm going to run through them quickly, and I want you to go back and listen to this podcast over and over and over until it sinks inside your psyche so it becomes natural. All right, here we go. The purpose of execution. We're going to spell out the word execution, and this is what it means. First of all, the definition of execution means to carry out a plan. It's like saying, I'm not just going to talk, but I'm going to work my words. Hence the book, Work Your Words, Finding Your Pathway to Personal Success. Get over there to andrewguyspeaks.com or over to amazon.com and pick you up a copy of this book. An amazing book. There are videos out there, testimonials of people who have read this book and it's transformed their life. So here we go. The first part of execution is EX. EX is experience. You're going to gain some experience, the experience of knowing that you either win or lose. You're going to know if you pass or fail. You're going to have some knowledge or experience of rise and fall. You're going to have some knowledge of what? You're going to change who you are, or you're going to be transformed through the process. All right. So that's the EX part. The last part of the EX is like, is it going to kill you? You either live or die. Basically, what don't kill you today will make you stronger so you can live tomorrow. We're going to go down to the E now. The E means to establish unknowns about yourself. It means, what is your mindset? What is your mindset? Are you a person that's optimistic, or are you negative? Are you always looking for the negative things in life? But I remember the good book, the Bible says, look for the good in every man. Not just in every man, but look for it in yourself first. And when you find the good in yourself, replicate that and use that towards people. The C means courage. The C means to find courage. Discover courage that you never thought you had before. That's what happened when you execute. The U in execute means to gain an understanding of what it takes. To gain an understanding of what it takes. These are what I call life lessons. Okay. When you use these life lessons, they will help you with your T for timing, which means that you will understand what's the right time to take the right action instead of just always acting or always being jumpy or always being fearful. You will understand your own timing. Knowing your own timing is key for you to execute. The I in execute, you will gain an insight. This insight will help you in everything that you're doing. You understand more about yourself. You understand your growth pattern. You understand your weaknesses. And most of all, you understand your strength. I would say focus more on your strength, because the time you will take to develop your weakness, if you perfect your strength, you'll be further ahead instead of trying to catch up. Working on weakness is like playing the catch-up game. You don't want to do that. You want to be miles ahead of the game when you start working on your strength. The next thing that you will learn is to have an open mind. Open mind, become optimistic, and you will observe that there are more opportunities than there are setbacks. That's what will happen. The O in execution is that you will know and develop an optimistic mind to observe opportunity around you and discover that there are more for you than those against you. All right. The next part is N. N talks about nobility. Nobility means that you're not going to get cocky when you get through this, when you're on the other side, when you're on the winning side, the dream side, the accomplishment side. You're going to become a noble individual, not a cocky individual, but a noble one that says, wow, I can't believe I got through that. I'm so excited that I have gotten through that. You become noble. And next, you become a nimble individual that is apt to respond to future challenges. And the best part of this is that for the end, you silence the naysayers. I am hoping that this will be your turning point. This is Andrew Guy with Ilir Podcast. I'm listening. I'm ready. I want you to go ahead and subscribe to me on YouTube. That is Andrew Guy Speaks. Until next time, take care of yourself and we'll talk soon. All right then. Peace.
Until next time, keep listening, live ready, talk soon.